This is level 39 walkthrough. I really like this level, coming up with this idea of the central platform with a array of buttons that you have to press certain buttons to then be able to kind of transpose them off of the platform into the various quadrants and spaces next to the platform to access the buttons out there in the periphery. Yeah, coming up with the idea just it was really fun, actually. I went through a couple different iterations of arrangement of buttons, and I ended up settling on the kind of space by one sort of an arrangement, which allowed for kind of accessing the greatest area with as few buttons as possible. As you can see, this is sped up again, and I also have the contact turned off, so if you pay attention, you'll see I've kind of missed jump a few times there. But that's just so I can make it through the level, so I could show you how to play through and activate all the buttons in order to beat the level, at least for the first playthrough. Yeah. Not much more to say about this level as you just watch it and watch the playthrough. It was really fun coming up with this idea. I really hope that you gave it a good effort of trying to beat this level on your own before coming to the walkthrough, just because it's not necessarily difficult to come up with the arrangements of activated buttons. The jumping part is the difficult part, really, but the arrangement of buttons is you can kind of trial and error and work your way through. This doesn't have to go all the way to the top here. You can go one lower. As you can see, that's all the way at the top of the map, and that interferes with jumping, so you might not be able to actually jump from those tiles up at the top down to the ones beneath without dying. So don't do what I did. Do what I tell you to do. So just hit the second row down instead of that topmost row in order to access that top button. Working our way. As you can see, the top left button and eventually the bottom right button, we are not going to go through those on this walkthrough. Those are buttons that you need to activate for the second playthrough. So keep that in mind. One more thing, you can see the red circle on the side of the screen. That's one of your abilities. That's the force field. I beat the other level 41st, and so there are a couple other levels in order to get the force field. So you should not have access to the force field at this point if you played every level sequentially. So disregard the red circle there on the right. You'll gain access to that on level 40. What else? You have the nuisance tracker enemy again. It's kind of chasing you around, although much easier to manage and deal with on this level than others, just because the walls provide a sufficient enough barrier to kind of keep them off of you when you're trying to work around trying to activate buttons. Don't know what that was. Not really sure why the sphere kind of got bumped there after activating the repel in that position. But yeah, misfire, I guess. There's a ghost in the machine. Yeah, so one more ought to do it. So if you saw in that last attempt, once you activate that button, a wall disappeared at the top there, so you have to do that one first before you can access the one all the way on the top. So we'll go through there. A few more buttons, and we'll do the top right. There we go. And jump over, go up through these sections of walls, and miss jump there. Yeah. going. I love that little, just that little gap. That's you have to get that row right. There's no margin for error there. You have to go through that little gap there, which I think is kind of fun and neat. I don't know. I really like designing this level or coming up with the idea, just because it's unique for sure compared to a lot of the other levels. They're all kind of unique, but this one's unique too. All right.